Hey, I'm pretty sure I agree with Keymoe when he says if he made $1 million, he wouldn't know how to act. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yup.
What's up, everybody? We are live in the stew, working. Hopefully the sound sounds aight. My shit hopefully doesn't die on me. We appreciate Chris Chrome, who does all the editing. Keymoe's here in the flesh. This is Bridge the Gap, the show where we take interesting people such as yourself, Keymoe, the key to more greatness, whose name is excessively long. My name is Holden Stephan Roy, and we're going to learn about your life and go through your journey and kind of get to know who you are a bit better in terms of the man behind the key that is the key to more greatness, because Keymoe's the key. And, okay, look, I like to make fun of that a little bit because the first time I saw this name, I'm going to tell a little story. Because, I know Keymoe for a minute, y'all. Like, this is not the first time Keymoe been in the crib type thing.
Yup.
Keymoe, I'm going to tell a little story of how I met Keymoe. We're going to start a little different. Keymoe posted in this Facebook group. And Keymoe be like, I bet nobody's going to fucking like or whatever. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm in a mood. And I fucking hit like the subscribe and left a comment or whatever, screenshotted it all petty like and slapped that on there. And then Keymoe was all like, hey, blah, 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 hit me up and we started chatting. And then somehow the dude gets me booked at shit. Somehow the dude starts pulling through. And I thought about his name a lot. And I said to myself, all things considered, since I've met Keymoe, there has been more greatness. Thus, it's a fair assessment that it's the key to more greatness. And I just wanted to start off with that little anecdote shit. But that's not how we usually start the show. Typically, we go in a direction more like we want to know where you were born, where your life starts.
I'm born in Sacré-Cœur in Cartierville.
Okay.
Basically in Montreal.
Fair.
Yeah.
So basically you were born in Montreal. That's where the life starts. And we're talking that's a bit of the north end of shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like center north, I think. I don't really know where Cartierville is. I kind of know where it is, but I sort of know where it is.
The west of the city?
Okay, but north, right? Like it's like you got to pass through Cartierville to get to Purifond, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, exactly.
Like the 68, 67 kind of whatever.
Yeah, 68.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so with that, we had the proper opening question, though, because now we contextualize the story takes place up in Montreal over there.
All right.
So it starts out with my girlfriend. It's a bit of a story, this little question. And basically, my girlfriend be washing the dishes one time. Okay. And she got her phone out, and she playing that Black Eyed Peas song, the I got a feeling, ooh. Right. She vibing, she dancing, she doing her thing. And then basically, I looking at her, and then she's doing this song. It's like 2020, and I'm like, yo, when the fuck did this song become chores music, right? Because if you think about this track, now we're going to put it on when we're doing some exercises, we're doing some cleanings, we're doing some boring crap, and we're trying to have a more litty experience in our lives. But like back in the day, run it back 10 years, this be some fucking in the club in the middle of the night, fucking everybody drunk, turn up, fucking banger, everybody having a great time. 10 years goes by. The song doesn't change at all because it's a song, but it ultimately is that we got older, more the context of the song changes, and now it's chores music, from party music to chores music. And with that, like, it got me thinking about our own musical journeys and shit. So if we think about how most people actually just talk about the musical journey, it's going to be something in the ballpark of like, yo, I'm like 12 and I started writing my rhymes. I discovered hip hop at this age, this, that, the next thing. But really, like, none of that is exactly the beginning of anybody's musical journey, because songs are vibes, and vibes surround us since time. Like, you could probably argue that from the day you was born up in that hospital, there was maybe even a little track playing in the room that was being absorbed by a little baby Keymoe at that point in time. So with all that, it's like it got me thinking about how we need to run back the story even further. So in my case, I can think about being like 5 years old up in Côte Saint-Luc, and my dad's got these gray boxes in the apartment, right? Like the fucking amp and the tape deck and the fucking amplifier and the radios and all the wires going out to the speakers and shit like that, right? A bunch of gray boxes kind of stacked up. Took like 20 minutes to set that shit up. And then basically be playing his Led Zeppelin tapes. Put your phone on silence, please. Led Zeppelin tapes. And then On top of that, it would be like fucking, nighttime radio stuffs like, MC Mario's Club Mix straight from all the Montreal vibes. Then like my mom, she'd be more into like discos and radios and love songs and like musicals and that kind of stuff. Yo, we watch Grease a lot in my household. And like, that kind of vibes. And then like none of that I had any control over. That was just music and ish that was like around when I was doing my thing. And I just kind of realized that for all of us, we have that portion of our life and it really doesn't get talked about or explored enough, but really influences all of us to this very day. So I was hoping, Mr. Keymoe, that you could run it back to when you were the youngest Keymoe that you could remember being, and let us know a little bit what it was like to be, what it sounded like to be a young Keymoe, the key to more greatness, the vibes of your home, etc. was.
Basically, when I started listening to music, there was a lot of Arab music, and my dad for some reason loved Shaggy, so
it wasn't me.
Yeah. That's one of the like classics my dad used to play a lot, and I remember he used to play the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." I don't know
The Baha Man.
Yeah, okay. So basically, he used to play a lot of that old stuff. Bruno Mars, you listen to that a lot. And
but even younger, like when you was a
even
kid,
younger,
because like you gotta keep in mind your life starts in what?
I was like 9 at the time.
Run it back, man.
Run it back even. Okay,
yeah, man.
Okay.
We want to know about baby Keymoe.
All right. Well, shit. I mean, I remember the first song I actually really liked was a Pokemon song, because I used to be a real Pokemon fan when I was a kid.
It's an acceptable
and
thing.
there was a song. It was not really rap, but it was like in between rap and rock music. It was weird.
It the poker rap?
Yeah, I don't know. It was that's how I remember it. So I don't remember the name of the song or anything, but I remember it was It used to go like Yu-Gi-Oh.
That's a different show.
I don't know.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. Pokemon Yu-Gi-Oh. Sorry, I get them
Fair
confused
enough.
sometimes.
Yu-Gi-Oh is a vibe. But that's cool that TV hit you like that, because some of them theme songs smashed. They were really good. Some of them theme songs were real smashes.
Yeah, I don't know, that one literally hooked to my head for the longest time. But all I remember was that Yu-Gi-Oh shit.
So if there wasn't a whole bunch of music going on when he was young, were you like not as interested? What were the passion of like a 5-year-old Keymoe?
Me, it was really video games when I was a kid. It was literally more when I was like in high school.
Hold up. So if the video games, we talking Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis?
No, I'm talking about PS1.
Okay.
Before that, it was like that Nintendo, the square one, the gray square
the
one.
NES.
Yeah,
that was it. That was some fire times, man.
Yeah, when you used to open the flap like that. I don't know.
It's like a
yeah, exactly.
Put it back in and hope the shit works.
I used to have the thing where you connect the gun for the duck game.
Duck
and
hunt.
you shoot the ducks there. Yeah.
And then you got yourself on that PS1 life.
Yep.
So basically,
you still want some of that?
Nah,
right.
That hits different. I'm like, I don't know if I like how that hits. I'm like, there's something in there. I'm like, but not like bad, like tobacco or cigar or whatever it is. I don't know. Or paper, not my favorite. But like with that, so you basically a little gamer back in the day. You're not that interested in music.
No.
You vibing on them TV shows. You into sports.
Yeah. I really liked basketball when I was a kid. Like basketball is my number one sport.
Were you playing it back then?
Yeah. A lot. That was literally my passion at the time. Yeah.
And then at this point, you're not that interested in music. You're just kind of doing your thing.
Yeah, basically.
So at what point do you start to get a little bit more interested in music?
It was more when I was like at 12, 13, starting to go to high school and stuff. I started off by... I wasn't really... Like, it was more doing parkour and stuff. Then around 16...
Parkour?
Yeah.
Like the fucking running off the walls
Yeah,
and crap?
yeah.
Yo, tell us about your parkour adventures. How'd you get into that?
I was hanging with a bunch of Filipino kids, and basically we used to love doing like really dumb stuff. Like I remember one time his school had a thing, and it was like all the students he didn't go, so he decided to chill with us, and we stole a giant box of Ritz. And anyways, we end up getting out, and we ate so much, we gave it to this guy. I remember I used to go to Snowden when I was a kid. There was a big dude, but he was homeless.
I know
So
who you're
we
talking
ga-
about.
we
I
gave-
think everybody knows who you're talking about.
We gave the whole Ritz box to
Okay,
him.
maybe
We're
not
like, "Here."
everybody, but if you happen to be in Snowden at a certain time in life, for like, we're talking more than a decade, this man's was around.
Yeah.
And if you took public transit, he was there.
Yep. All the time. So basically, we gave them the whole box of Ritz. But it was really like when I started really getting into music, it was really when I was 16. I started sea walking. It was
Wait, what? So let me
Yeah.
understand this. You're a parkour guy that
Yeah.
steals Ritz crackers.
no, but it was like
Are y'all doing
one
like
time.
parkour videos?
No, we didn't do no parkour videos. We were just practicing. At a certain point, I just realized I sucked at it, so I just stopped.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So the highlight is the Ritz cracker stealing parkour adventure. Respect. No, it's a good story. It
Yeah,
is. And then you migrate out of the parkour world because you're maybe not destined to be
I
a
was-
parkour
no.
legend. Fair enough.
Yeah,
That was a phase of life though. I remember when everybody was into parkour.
yeah.
So then what brings you to music?
It was one time my friend basically showed me a video of him sea walking, and I was like, "Oh, that's dope." So I'm like, "How'd you learn how to do that?" He's like, "Oh, YouTube." So then he showed me a 2-3 move. Then I got into it, you know. Then that's where my music journey started because I was just music after music after music, and
So
I
but
practiced.
you wanted to be a dancer.
Yeah, I bought a whole like camera, and I have a bunch of Siwak videos on my YouTube.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was like 10 years ago.
That's where Keymoe got all these subscribers.
Yeah, basically.
From Sea Walking back in the day,
Yeah.
because I was like, say a word. What did Keymoe do? Something he did something at some point.
Yeah, yeah. That was I was yeah, I was Siwak kid. I used to love doing not break dance, but like pop lock, whatever that the waving with your hands and shit. I used to like crunk music a lot.
Yeah.
But,
Sea Walk
never
dance
really
off
into it.
after the show.
Yeah.
Yo, CB Mac's supposed to come through for a book. If you're still here, we can film that shit.
I don't know if I can still do it, but I mean,
Well, that would make it
I'm
a.
pretty sure I can lay down a couple of
If y'all want to see a CB Mac versus Keymoe, a real city poet Sea Walk off, you let me know.
Man. Yeah.
So basically, you're running that back in the day. You learning, but you're running the YouTube gambit, and
Basically, I did two YouTube channels, and it was like when I got the camera, I got way better because it was just like I could throw it. I don't have to bug my buddies, so I could use his camera, basically. So I started recording videos after videos, made a whole new YouTube page. Just kept throwing video after video after video. I was just trying to impress people, I guess. I don't know, it was really cool for me that like at the end I was able to do it so good. I remember a techno song. I used to just hit every note. YouTube blocked it though because it was copyrighted. Yeah, but I'm pretty sure if I could go on my YouTube account, YouTube Studio, I could still find it, but the
right,
volume's not there.
that's no fun.
Yeah, which kind of sucks, but whatever.
You could still watch Keymoe dancing, and then in theory, you could just add the song back and then put it somewhere else.
Yeah, it was Cascade, I think the song. Baby, you're all that I want.
Oh, I'm hiding here in your
Yeah, that one.
making it hard to believe.
Yeah.
You're happy.
That one.
I remember that.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. So,
Good times.
so basically, were you like raving and stuff, or was this more like you was in your room just practicing?
No, it was basically me going to the park, going to the like anywhere, and just like just put the camera there, put the earphones on,
Oh, say
go
word.
back home.
So you was like one of them dudes.
Yeah,
You were
that-
like a Vine kid before Vine.
Vine. What do you mean Vine?
Like the fucking 6-second social media app when they would do like little like a bunch of little short things. It's like TikTok before TikTok.
Yeah, in a way, but it was like because a Seawalk video was between, I think it was 15 to 45 seconds.
That's a TikTok video
Yeah, basically
on a reel.
like a minute.
Instagram
max.
post.
Okay, yeah.
Keymoe was
Okay,
doing that shit since
Yeah.
time.
yeah.
That's wild.
That was the vibes.
And Bonnie, that song was covered by a whole lot of people in the electronic musical sphere. Real lot of covers of that bad boy. So you was running that in high school.
Yeah.
And was it getting you cool points? Were people like buzzing on Keymoe's dance skills?
Yeah. Basically, I wasn't really an outcast because basically, I don't know. I don't know how to put this. It's like I don't know, man. I wasn't a loser, but I wasn't the like popular kid. I was just a normal fucking kid.
Just
But it's
in the
just
middle.
like people would know I knew how to dance good and play basketball, basically.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So then what happens for you after high school?
Dated, started selling drugs, basically weed
Bro.
and stuff. I quit school. It was pretty bad. Then, anyways, bad things happened. I decided to quit that. I dated a girl for 4 years. That didn't go good either. So one time, I end up going to this party. So I met this promoter. So that was his name is basically So MTL. But like that dude was just like $100, like he was just like if he was going to a wedding type of shit. Not like, you know, expensive clothes, whatever. So I go up to him, we have a chit chat, whatever, and he goes, I'm a promoter, I'm a music promoter. I'm like, okay. At the time, I had my neighbor and other people that would do music in my surroundings. But I wasn't really an artist at the time. So I go, oh, well, I know people that do music. He told me, okay, no problem. Took my number down. I'm like, oh, do you want me to show you some people? He's like, no, don't worry, I know they're good. I'm like, okay. I found that weird, you know? So one time he calls me, he's like, oh, what you want me to do for your artist? But I basically asked him, I told him, I'm like, you know, if we could make money with it, I could show you artists, and that's it, you know?
So right away, Keymoe's desires in the game is to be like a middleman that links people together.
Basically, because I kind of saw the opportunity, so he kind of didn't understand me. So, anyways, I was with one of my homies, and he makes music, so I was with him, Steal the Don, and we're just there smoking up. He calls me and he's like, "What you want me to do for your artist?" So I told him, "Listen, I got one that's with me. Whatever. Talk to him and see what you could do for him." He gives me back the phone and tells me, "Oh well, let's meet at what was that bar called? Snookers in Cartierville."
Right.
So we go to Snookers. Whatever. He basically tells us he has a competition, and the competition is basically it's a bunch of artists, and at the end there's a big prize. So basically, he says that you could get known like that and make money. So me and my friends, they found it skeptical, and everybody said I don't know. Basically, I said no because I'm not an artist. You know, he asked me if I wanted to do it because when I walked in the bar, I knew, like, I walked in like if it was my house because, you know, I know everybody, right? So that's it. And he asked me, "Do you want to do it?" I told him no. Then my friend's like, "Oh, yo, come on, nah. I'll help you. It'll be fun." I said, "Okay." I said, "You know what? Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm gonna see if my friend pulls through with it, I'll do it, you know?" So I wake up the next day, go to work, whatever. My sister calls me. She's like, "Oh, there's some random dude with some flyer looking picture and you're on it, you know?" I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Yeah, he tried adding me on Facebook." I'm like, "Okay." So I go on Facebook. That dude added over 100 people I knew with a flyer saying I was going to do a rap show. Now this is how I got into music.
That's ridiculous. And so what do you do when you go to your show? Do you even have songs?
No. I listen. It was the funniest thing, eh? So
Okay, like you gotta understand, motherfuckers be out there dreaming of opportunities to be fucking trying to get everything in the world. Keymoe be there like, I don't want to rap. Somehow his face on a flyer and he's fucking doing a show.
So basically,
what?
yeah, it was weird. So basically, I'm like, okay, well, I'm doing a rap show. I'm like,
with no
okay,
songs,
no experience whatsoever.
And you're on the flyer.
I'm on the flyer. So I'm like, what is this crappy situation, you know? So, yeah, just decided to write a song. Showed it to a couple people. Everybody went, yeah, it's not bad. No. I showed it to one of my friends. He goes, bro, I love you, but this is the most garbage shit I've ever heard in my entire life. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I'm like, what do I do? It's like a week lapse to the show. We sat down like for like an hour. Me, him, his sister, and my other friend wrote a whole song basically. And I called the promoter. I'm like, listen, I'm not doing it with the other guy. I'm gonna do it with my homie because we just created a song together. So he's like, okay. So we end up doing the show. I was not expecting nobody to be there. I thought everybody was going to take that as a joke. I'm not even kidding. There was at least 200 people.
And this is because, let's be clear, the promoter hits up all these people you know and goes, Keymoe, the key to more greatness. I don't know if that was what you were going by at that point.
No, it was just Kimo. Keymoe.
I could see how you might want to change your name in this city. That would get confusing from a Google perspective.
Yeah, but it's because, like, at first I started off as Keymoe, Kimo. Then I saw somebody else called Keymoe.
It's Keymoe Soul. And Keymoe Soul been at this for a very long time. Very legacy, very tenured.
But it wasn't Keymoe Soul at first that I found. It was
say word. So there's other Keymoes.
It was J Keymoe R or something like that.
Say word.
Like, what? Come on.
So there's a lot of Keymoes is what we're seeing.
So basically, when I found that out, I changed my name. Keymo. Basically, at first, my friend kept telling me, change your name. No. He kept saying it's too simple, it's too this, it's too that, you know. So I was like, bro, I don't know.
How do you end up on the key to more greatness?
Yo, I just thought, and at a certain point, because he kept giving me ideas, you know. He kept saying, oh, why don't you write your name this way or that way, you know? So then it clicked. I was like, Keymoe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the key to more greatness. I don't know how I clicked the key to more greatness.
You filled in the bar.
Yeah, the key to more greatness. Yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, I don't hate the name. I do find your name is very lengthy to type into stuff. Like, I had to change the size. This is the first time ever I had to stretch the part where it says the key to more greatness, the yellow text you're seeing there. I had to make that longer to support your freaking name, and I'd never had to done that before.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I was annoyed because I wanted my name to be Keymoe, and everybody's name was Keymoe. There is even some other dude that's Keymoe. I was like, come on, man, you got to be fucking kidding. So I just wrote the key to more greatness. I was like, forget it.
I'm pretty sure nobody went that route except for you, just due to the fact that it's so fucking long. And I don't. You know what the thing is as I say it, you don't forget it. Nobody forgets this name.
No.
You see it like one time, Keymoe, the key to more greatness, and it's stuck in your head because it's like preposterously large as a name, but it's not bad.
No.
Stills. So you basically do this first show. Yeah. Everybody sees Keymoe on the flyer. Yeah. Everybody's like, wait, hold up. Keymoe rap now? I'm ready for this. I got my phone ready. I'm coming. A whole bunch of people fill out the place. Did he do this to other people too? Like, was it multiple people on the flyer or was it just you?
No, it was multiple people on a giant flyer at the end.
So basically, did this for everybody.
He basically did an individual flyer for everybody, and then made a giant flyer with everybody's heads on it.
Are y'all hearing this? Yo,
Yeah.
promoters in the city. That guy got 200 people to come to a show. That's the big lesson here. Keymoe, did you try to sell tickets?
It was no selling tickets. It was just promote your thing and get the max people to come, and like we just he showed us.
Everybody had an individual flyer, and then there's this group flyer.
Yeah,
that's pretty litty. That's not even a bad idea at all.
And like that's how I learned how to spam. You just like throw it everywhere. I'm like, okay. You
I don't know.
Copy paste it everywhere.
I don't know if spamming is the most effective tool over time, but it certainly fucking works the first time.
Oh yeah, it does.
The first time.
The first time definitely does.
The fifth time, I do question the return on investment of a spam campaign.
Yeah,
but yo, some people be on it all the time.
But I learned not to spam over the time, but it's because that's how I learned how to promote myself at first, you know, from him, you know. So.
I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you just are supposed to spam yourself excessively to a degree where maybe, like, I don't do it enough. And I think about that back and forth. Because, like, yo, as much as it might annoy the shit out of you, then you can ask yourself the question is, do I care? And I might care. But then if you don't and you keep doing it, people that like it really fuck with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's just food for thought.
But it's like, yeah, basically what you said.
But like, I don't know what I'm not saying it's everyone's got to do their own moves different. I was just thinking it's a different time of day.
I don't know. Right now, it's like obviously don't spam. You know, whoever follows you. But like at first, you know, I just did not know any other way, bro. That's how the promoter told me to do it. He just, yo, bro, copy paste it everywhere. I'm like, you sure? He like, yeah. I'm like, all right, let's do that.
Nah, I feel that. And shout out Pizza Jams TV for rolling through. That's something I'm pretty sure you as dude. Or if not, my bad. But definitely got people running through. You can see the chats over there. Chemo's like, they're just responding. They're just like, we talking, and then they have side conversations. Sometimes you look at the chat, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about, but they're having fun, and we just keep doing our thing. Like, did the kid eat the Pizza Jam? Nah, they're talking to each other, Keymoe. That's cool. That's nice.
That's
and now we're talking about them in front of them. So you had this crazy experience. A bunch of people come to the show because the promoter did this. Well, to be fair, it was creative spamming. He played an element of Keymoe doesn't rap and hit up all your people. Like, there was more to it than just spam. That was like really ingenious marketing.
Yeah.
Can't say it'll work over time. But it got you there, and it got 200 people at this show, and then you and your people come out, and how does it go?
But the thing is that the mainly people that were there was people from my neighborhood. It was like I was
the bar in your neighborhood?
but not expecting it. No, not even. It was Ujo nightclub on Jean Talon. I think it's Jean Talon. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's a small club, but it was packed that night.
Those are the best.
Yeah. It was actually really, really dope. That feeling I had, that's why I wanted to continue doing it. It was that feeling of having the mic and just people bumping to your music while you're spitting it. Yeah, it was, I don't know, it was amazing. Yeah.
So you have this amazingly addictive first night, and then what happens?
I just kept going.
You're going to have to go into more detail than that, given it's...
Basically, we wanted to form a group, me and the other guy. So we brought another person to do a show. Then we did a show again. That time, well, it didn't really go that good. My partner was a little drunk, so he mixed up the two songs. He ended up doing one song and he cut us off after. The promoter told me, yo, you have to calm your boy down. I was like, oh, shit.
That's not good.
Yeah, it was not. Yeah. But we still did the show. That time.
Hold on, when was your first show? When was your first show? We didn't even establish when you started.
Ujo nightclub.
When? The time.
Oh, when? About, I would say 3 years ago. No? Yeah.
Okay, so 2018.
17, I would say.
All right. So this goes down in 2017.
Yeah, 18, 17, between that.
And basically, since then, you pop off, and then you have this moment with the drunk guy, and that's how long after that first show?
What do you mean?
Like, how much time had passed between the shows?
3 weeks, a month.
I'll say a word. Same like promoter and stuff?
Yeah,
Okay.
basically, because it was like a whole thing he was doing. So like everybody had like they were like advancing. The ones that weren't bringing people or whatnot would not show up after. We end up getting to like the finals.
All right, it's a contest.
Right. We
Right,
end up
right,
getting
right.
to the finals, which we were supposed to grab a song where that instrumental was ours. We didn't really understand the game, right? We wrote free instrumental on YouTube.
Wait,
So,
I'm a little confused. What do you mean?
because we were supposed to buy a licensed song, like,
Oh, like
you know what I mean?
you had to get your own track that was like licensed that you could
Yeah.
own for this contest.
Yeah, basically, we didn't understand the game, right? So we just wrote free beat on YouTube.
And so you got disqualified over the beat selection.
No, he's like, oh well, okay, we'll make you guests of the show. Then I spoke to the other guys. They're like, yo, nah, we're not doing that. We're like, yo, we went through all of this to be guests of the show. At the end, it made no sense. So we just dropped it. So we end up not going for the last show.
So the big lesson is read the contest rules. But do you think you should have gone to that last show?
Yeah, I think I should have, to be honest.
That's a good answer. I agree.
Yeah, I should have, because a lot of people that I knew that were going, that were already there, and I didn't show up. So yeah, it was not looking good on me though.
So I guess what happens after that is the promoter not thrilled with you?
No, he was not thrilled.
And then so what goes on next?
Basically, I tried doing rap with the other guy that I was with. Turns out that it wasn't really going a good route either. So I decided, forget it, do it myself, you know?
Right.
So I wrote a whole song in French. I remember it was my first ever song. And my boy kind of explained to me how to rap. He's like, hum your flow, do this, do that, you know? So I wrote a whole song in French one day, and I couldn't find a studio. So I met this guy that was rapping called Gaspé. He introduced me to Satik, that was my studio guy for a minute. Yeah. And ever since I would go to this guy, I made a mixtape, and I threw it out on SoundCloud to see what people would think about it, you know? Yeah. That's where I went from there.
And then what did you do with the mixtape?
Well, basically, I tried doing shows. I spoke back to the other promoter. I'm like, listen, I was not done the mixtape yet. I had maybe 3 songs at the time. I told him, listen, this is what I got, and I want to do a show. Is it good enough? He told me, yeah, the French one's pretty dope. No. So I went to Club 5, and I went to do the show there. But there wasn't much people, to be honest. It was like 30 people. I was the person that brought the most people. I was like, okay. It was weird.
Is it?
So, I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. Okay, it's like, I don't want to be like negative. I've been to a lot of shows that don't have a lot of people.
Okay, I've not been to a lot of shows. I've just...
So like, I mean, I'm not saying that like every show ends up being like that. I have been to shows with it, but there's like so many factors that go into stuff.
Okay.
Like there's things like just like, yo, check, a lot of these shows happen at bars where drinks be like $11.
Wow.
So it's like you try to get people to come. People be asking me this question almost every time I tried to sell tickets and shit in my life. Not even like because I was trying to do the ticket thing. Just 'cause, yo, I'm performing, come through. Yo, how much is the drinks? First question.
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
Okay,
And
now I
so,
get it.
so it's like, yo, like back in the days when I could say, yo, $20 rum and cokes at Belmont, motherfuckers came through. It was the easiest shit in the world. And then, like, as time went on, two things happened. I got older, as did everybody I know, which meant like going out on a Friday night happens way less and becomes a way harder sell. Yo, what's up, Zalmanel? And then the other side of it is the drinks literally got more expensive related to that Sardakis guy or whatever his name is, buying up all the fucking bars and killing the $20 pitchers. And then all of a sudden, like, drink specials started disappearing in a lot of the low end. And it's like, it's kind of like this negative cycle that goes into it. Then there's other shit that goes into time slots when you're doing shows where, like, they deliberately split up nights to make it harder to get a good time slot. Anyway, there's so many factors that play into how it gets complicated to promote a show is all I'm trying to say.
Yeah. It's, I don't know, man. I guess, yeah, that time, now that you mention it, that first show I did, they had Jack Daniel bottles, and they had a special on them. Like, I think it was like $80 a bottle.
I promise, man, a drink special sells tickets more than a rapper. And I
Yeah.
don't even know if people really like 100% are aware of that. Like, a drink special can make people be like, oh, say word. Maybe I do want to come through with my posse and
Yeah.
drink cheap alcohol at this place and location.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. So I just think, but I don't know, there's a lot of factors that go into it. But yeah, I done seen a lot of shows where it's like 30 people or less and whatnot.
Okay. No, me, the only time that I didn't see a lot of people at a show was Le Cinq and COVID shows. I did 2.
How many shows did you do before COVID?
3? 2?
Yeah.
About.
Nah, but to
yeah,
be
three.
fair though, sometimes
three.
in all like fairness, like, yo, the vibe is amazing with 40 people in the room. Like, it doesn't have to be like a packed show. Sometimes it's just a lit experience and whatnot. But I can understand going from like 200 people to 30 might be a little bit of a culture shock.
I don't know. It wasn't a lot of people, so there wasn't much of a vibe to it. Versus the first time I did it, and it was a bunch of people, and it was more of a vibe. People, you know.
Fair.
You see people bopping their heads. You see a 1-2 person, you know, recording you. Things like that, you know?
I've been in rooms, man, where I realized I don't necessarily think I should perform at every show. Like, just a bunch of people dead ass staring at me like, what the fuck? And I'm like, then there's the 2 guys bopping their head, and I'm like, nah, okay. Still 2 dudes bopping their head. That's a vibe. Focus on those guys. But like, I've done a couple of them in my life, not even gonna lie. But it's just kind of the game a little bit with the live shows. Pretty much everybody I know has done these shows, so I can see how it's a vibe. But then you said COVID kicks in.
Yeah, COVID kicked in, so I don't know. I just stopped doing shows, I guess. I did a 1 show. It didn't really go good.
Bro, I know for a fact you did at least 2 shows during COVID.
Yeah, 2 shows.
I'm like, I know for a fact you did those shows.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. It didn't go good. The first one, the second one wasn't bad. The lady lost my instrumentals for some reason.
That was a vibe. Keymoe's like, I don't want to talk about this. I'm like, I was there. Nah.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
No, but I like the Cartierville one. That was dope.
Doing that, like,
At
Bashment Booth.
House. Yeah, Bashment. That was fun.
So,
I actually enjoyed myself.
So what we're all talking about, at some point I meet Keymoe in this like period of COVID, and he's like, come to the studio, etc., etc. And then I don't even remember why, but we went to a studio up in Sherbrooke, and you wanted me to meet you there, and I was on my way to some next thing, so I was there for a minute. And then Keymoe's like, yo, I got this show opportunity. And the next thing I know, we're up in some fucking room with COVID restrictions, because at this point, like, you could still do like shows inside with like 10 people, and it was like fucking proper and like all that crap. And then we were performing on the internet, and that was a vibe. That was a whole vibe. And I was like, okay, this fucking guy got me a whole thing going on here.
Yeah.
That was cool. And one of those dudes is fucking killing it on TikTok right now. Like, so I'm like, say a word. I met that guy because of Keymoe. And then basically, a couple months later, There was the fucking bashment bullshit. Where how did you even set that up? Like again, how are you making things happen? Everybody else at this time, you gotta understand, is being like, I'm not doing anything. Woe is me? Keymoe be coming with a second opportunity. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this dude? Who is this guy?
Dude, all I did was just keep adding people on Facebook. Add. And then, like, I just, those feeds, sometimes when you're bored, you just scroll on Facebook, the feeds, you just watch, like, it's like Snapchat, basically. People asking, looking for artists, looking for this, looking for that. So I just told myself, yo, I'm an artist. Yo, can I do the show? Yeah, sure. Okay, well, I got this person and that person and that person that's down too. Oh, okay, we'll bring them. That's it.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds really simple. I mean, it does. I don't know. Like,
it is pretty simple. I mean, that's
like
that's
you're just
all I
like,
do.
I went on Facebook.
I guess I'm lucky.
I looked for an opportunity. I happened to find an opportunity, and I threw my hat in the ring. I wonder how many opportunities be on Facebook right now, just like on some real shit where we're all so bougie we don't look for them.
Dude, you never know. To be honest.
Never know.
Now, because of the algorithms, though, it's like you see less things. Like, I don't see competitions anymore. Like, Bridge the Gap, when I scroll down Facebook, I don't see the competitions anymore.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that one's not really around as much. It's on a hiatus at the moment. But, like, yeah, in general, the algorithms did update this year a little bit and have changed how Facebook operates a little bit. But still, you had to have proactively gone and looked for those things in the first place.
Mm. Okay.
Right? Like if you weren't out there looking for these opportunities, you wouldn't have seen them, kind of thing. And maybe like even maybe you stopped looking for the opportunities, so Facebook stopped showing you the opportunities.
I don't know. Basically, like I wasn't. Yeah. At the time, I was kind of looking to do shows and stuff, and like I would just find them like water.
And then like we go to this bashment booth shit, which was a vibe.
Yeah, that was dope.
And then Keymoe did not tell me that we were going to perform, as in we were going to perform.
I didn't even know he was gonna ask the people I was with to perform.
He comes through, and the next thing you know, it's some. I'm like, I'm not trying to like take Keymoe's shine away, so I'm all like, nah, it's Keymoe's thing. And next thing you know, we're fucking rapping. There's cameras going, and then this dude who's allegedly one of the top artists in Cote d'Ivoire walks in the fucking room. I'm like, what the? And he watches me do my thing, and so I linked up with him and chopped it up. I'm like, I'm telling y'all, when I say Keymoe is the key to more greatness, y'all may think I'm joking, but literal opportunities in my life popped up because of this dude, like to a degree, like where you're just like, say fucking word. And it's all blunders and weird shit sometimes. Like it's all like these accidental, like almost like a comic book that like you end up winning at the end on some like good shit. And I love it.
Yeah, man.
There's a little more to some of those stories. Keymoe's like, don't fucking say shit. I'm like, fair enough.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Good times, though.
Good times.
Good times.
To be honest, it was good times.
And then, yeah, we got a question that I think becomes a bit relevant in the timeline at that point.
Right.
How did you meet CB Mac?
Through you.
I knew the answer to that question.
Basically, because I did How We Move With You.
Yeah.
So that was the remix, basically. And CB Mac did the original. I was like, yo, he's dope. Yeah, he's my boy. I'm like, oh, okay. Then when time went by, I just found out he was on my Facebook.
Yeah.
Or I added him, or I don't remember how it went on, to be honest.
That's fair. Yeah. That's basically like exactly what happens.
Yeah.
I was mad, and I'm like, everybody give me these verses. Whoever gets it back first wins. CB Mac got it, and then the next day Keymoe came through, and then I'm like, oh, they're in a group now. I'm like, say fucking word.
Yeah.
That's dope. So I guess between like the end of the fall, what have you been up to? Like, what have you been working on this whole time? Because Keymoe refused to do an interview last year when I'm like, yo, Keymoe, let's do an interview. He's like, fuck no. Now we doing it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. My album. The basically I was fed up of looking for studios, somebody to do like my voice good where it doesn't cost me an arm and a leg,
Right.
things like that. Satik was good, but some other times, you know, he couldn't do things that I pictured in my head, basically. So I decided to say forget it, bought a studio equipment myself, cheap studio equipment, and started doing it myself. So basically now I'm building an album. It's going to be called The Rise of the MC. I have a couple of booming ones with CB Mac. I got you on it. I got J Solo. Willie Scandals is supposed to be on it. Yeah, Salib, uh, VSL STF. Yeah, that's it. Oh, and Scribble too. I'm gonna make a
Shout out
feature with
Scribby.
Scribble. Yeah, shout out Scribble, man.
I appreciate it. Anytime we can bring up Scribby in real, don't call him Scribby, in regular conversation, I'm like, I don't know. I'll push that liberty
Yeah,
any day,
nah.
my guy. Any day, I'll take it. But I don't know if you should.
Nah, he's dope. Scribble, you know, like I met him and he was promoting his things on Facebook, and I seen he rapped with Vinny Paz. Me, I'm a big fan of Vinny Paz, you know. So I was like, oh shit,
Bro,
So,
I met this dude because he hit me up and he's like, "You want to do an album review of my shit?" And it was basically like the second time anybody had ever asked me. So I said yes. And Bonnie said, "Are you sure?" I mean, and I'm like, "Yo, you never know who the fuck the person could be, you know?" Because we were like, you're just trying to, not in like an "Are you sure" in a negative way, but when you're trying to pick something to review, like go on with somebody that's super like underground. It doesn't necessarily count for much in terms of like organic views unless people are searching for it, right?
right.
So I'm like, nah, let's try it out. And then we did it. And then he went on to work with RA. He went on to work with like so many fucking people, dude. Like I'm just sitting there going, wow, like I got on the Scribbler chain pretty fucking early, all things considered.
Yeah.
And like I just really fucks with dude. Like we've had so many arguments about dumb shit over the last 3-4 years. I appreciate Scribble.
Basically, somebody, I'm not gonna say names, but somebody did say, stop rapping. I told him to fuck off, basically, like anybody would. So, after, uh, when I met Scribble, I kept sending him songs. So one time he goes, "Yo, wanna do a feature?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So basically, I'm like, "Yo, I don't think this guy's gonna pull through with it." At a point, because he was taking forever, right? So I was like, you know what? If this doesn't go down, I might as well just say fuck it. If it goes down, I'm gonna keep going. It actually went down at a certain point. I was so happy.
Yeah, that's mumbling this and mumbling that. Auto-tune this and auto-tune that. Pass, that's my Scribble voice. But yo, shout out Scribble. That guy's
shout out
fucking nifty.
Scribble.
I'm just saying, cause like it's cool to watch people you know actually make interesting moves and like you know win in life a little bit. Like actually go out there and like do impressive shit where you're like, oh, say a word. Like, I know this dude and I watched him pull it off. Okay. And then it becomes like everything in life becomes a little more tangible. And I honestly find that, like, you know, Scribble like that a little bit. Because, like, you know, at the end of the day, I'm very happy to argue with him about, well, I'm too left and he feels, you know, I'm a little soft for his likings. And I'm very much like, meh, I'm okay with that. Let's argue about it still. That's cool. So you met up with Scribby and you guys made your track. You got him on the next project.
Yeah, man.
But what else have you been up to? You've been learning to mix, right? If I'm not mistaken. Like you took on the role of engineering.
Yeah, basically mix master. Basically, I met this guy, RB Beats, through Facebook, because one time I met this beat maker, which was my friend's little brother, and I'm like, listen, I don't want to buy beats. It's too expensive. Like $150, $200. Might as well like go with the residuals. I'm on DistroKid, so I'll give you 50% residuals if you create the beat for me. It would just be me and you. And If it pops off and we make money, shit, it pops off, we make money, right? If it doesn't, it doesn't. But at least, because he wasn't doing anything with his beats, I wanted to find beats, you know? So basically, dropped a deal with him like that. So my friend told me, "You are crazy. Don't do that." I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Oh, bro, you can make so much more. You could give him so much less. You might as well buy the beat." Nah, nah, nah. So basically made a whole post about it on Facebook. See if it's a smart move, right? So
Sometimes Keymoe makes a post on Facebook and it collects people. Yo, if y'all ain't on Keymoe's Facebook, you should get on Keymoe's Facebook. Is all I'm saying.
so basically I throw the argument on Facebook of like, am I doing something right? So a bunch of people are hitting me up. Some people are being like, "Yeah, that's a good thing. You know, it's a good move." Some people are like, "No, you should give him 20, nah, 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 or 30, whatever the case." So I met this guy RB Beats, and we went through a whole like conversation. So boom, he goes, "I'll take 20% if you're down to use my beats." I'm like, shit, perfect. So that's where I did fuck that. He made some type of competition. He made a group on Facebook to find artists that want to work with him in exchange of residuals. So basically, he made a competition, said whoever could kill the beat the best wins, in a way. And who does it first? I threw mines in first right away, you know. I dropped the lyrics and I sent it to him. He mixed it, sent it back to me. I dropped it, and basically I won the competition because some other dude came in, and it wasn't.
What's the name of the group?
There was no name. It was just like a little Facebook chat.
Okay, it's a Facebook group chat.
Yeah, basically.
How do you get in these Facebook group chats? Yo, this one is. I get invited. Keymoe hits me up. Holden, I want you to join this networking Facebook group chat. I said, Keymoe, I don't think that's a good idea personally because I've never been in a Facebook group chat that wasn't the worst thing in my life, especially with the number of people. He promised me it's going to be the best. Adds me in. I swear it lasted, 12 hours before it was weird?
Yeah. Basically,
12 hours before it got weird.
Yeah.
Okay? Weird. And I was like, I don't know what's happening here. But then you're lurking because you're watching people you know in this group being weird in a group because people behave weird. Anyway, how do you get into these groups?
okay, basically, I met this guy, Jay Davila, and told me, "Yo, I'll show you how to promote." I'm like, "All right, cool, perfect." He's a super cool guy, you know? So I basically created it myself. I'm like, okay, I'm just going to throw a bunch of rappers in a group chat and see what happens.
Yeah, no, it was.
Yeah. And it's like, whoever, like, wants promo or whatever, free promo, let's say, you just throw them in. Or somebody you find out about, throw them in. You know what I mean?
Why?
To network. You know, I found this guy, Serum. He's a really dope rapper. He has been rapping for 1 year. Already has 2,000 people on his Spotify following him. And he's down to be on my album. See? Like, I find features like that.
I know, but you gotta understand.
You
Let's look at, I just want to break this Facebook group message thing down a little bit. So you put like 80 of us in a chat and got one person out of it, and the rest of us be like, bruh.
It's not that. It's like, bro, throw your things. You never know what could happen, you know? You never know who you're throwing. You know what I mean? It's like you're connecting people together. I don't know. That's how I see it. If people turn it awkward, then shit. People turned it awkward. I didn't do it.
Fair enough.
I did the action to put everybody together, though.
Yeah. And then it was a vibe. I remember that 12 hours. I think I was like, nah, this isn't it. But I like the ambition of bringing people together. What would you do differently to achieve this vision? Like, how would you actually bring people together, given that you could, let's say, not work let's say it doesn't like, let's say not Facebook messages. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
No idea. It was just plain idea. I was like, you know what? Why not? Bring people together, see if features come out, or if I could get people on my album that way, or, you know, how, like, figure out a way it could benefit me.
I appreciate that.
Yes.
You should create the Keymoe opportunity catcher. Just
Say what?
Keymoe the opportunity catcher. That's what it is, man. I'll put. But then it's like you should create like Keymoe the opportunity center, and then like just create like a hub, your own Facebook group where you just bring people in and just like opportunity and run it.
Shit, that'd be an idea.
Yeah, I mean,
I think about that.
Facebook groups are a little simpler to deal with than group chats.
Yeah.
But like, stills, what else are you up to these days?
Basically gotta write eight 16s for the, what are they called? Immortal Beings. Their album.
You're doing 8?
Yeah, I'm doing 8.
Fair.
Yeah, fair enough. And
Tell us about this more.
I didn't start yet.
Who's Immortal Beings?
Immortal Beings are these dudes that hosted a mixtape with Scribble, and they basically hit me up on IG saying me and CB Mac are extremely dope and they want to work with us. So that's how it started off.
That's fresh.
Yeah.
When did you and CB Mac become the Real City Poets?
Basically we made this song called She Bad. Okay. And I showed it to one of my homies. He told me, nah, the singing part's not it, bro. I'm like, okay, whatever. I showed it to some other people, and we're going to a spot to chill, me and this other guy, and he's like, bro, that song is it. I'm like, he's like, yeah? He's like, yeah, that song is it. He's like, watch this. We go to the spot, and it's like a chilling spot, you know, where like it's in the hood, so it's just a bunch of people chilling together. It's I wouldn't call it a trap house, but like a chilling spot, you know. So I throw the song on the Bluetooth thing. Everybody's like, hey, hey, hey. I was so freaking surprised, and I was like, what? It was like everybody was on the vibe, drunk, whatever, you know. But just the fact that my song was able to do that, I was so happy. I was like, what? I told CB Mac, I'm like, yo, we gotta make a group, bro.
How did y'all land on Real City Poets?
Real City is Montreal's nickname, and we're poets. So Real City Poets. We just kept it plain simple like that.
Fair enough. I see CB Max in the chat right over there watching right now as we discuss your origin story of the Real City Poets.
And one thing that I was really proud of, we beat Boros in a competition.
Who?
Boros.
Okay, so I know who Burroughs is because every time I open SoundCloud, for some reason, like I get the Google cookies, you know how it, like, remembers the last link. You hit like an S and it'll have like a particular version of the SoundCloud page open every time you go there.
Yeah.
It's the Burroughs' entry on OACC's beat for the first Breaking Records contest. So literally every time I go to SoundCloud, that guy starts rapping on my shit.
Okay, that's dope. Anyways, he's a very, very powerful rapper. I was like, when they put me against him, I was like, come on, this is not fair, bro. So,
But you won?
yeah, I disqualified him the first one. I was so happy. I was like, oh shit. And it was a song called Fallen. Me and CB Mike did. He did the hook. I did the lyrics, the verses and stuff. Yeah.
So then, what do y'all have coming next for y'all? Like, so y'all are you guys making a project, or is it just like you did your 4 or 5 songs and that's it?
No, right now I'm just finishing my album, and I'm thinking me and CB Mike, we should make an album called, you know, Real City Poets, and we make an album. But we're trying to find basically a logo right now. I have no idea what we could use as a
You
logo.
pay Hugo, and Hugo makes you the logo.
What is Hugo?
Hugo's the guy who made the Bridge the Gap logo and the Perspectives logo. And I'm blanking on his last name right now. But Hugo's an ill logo maker, and the price is nice. And, like, you should just pay dude and get the logo done. Because, like, dude's fucking that ill with your shit, this shit. Like, it is what it is.
Okay.
Like, don't fuck around with logos, you know what I'm saying? Like, Hugo does this shit. Trust CB, the fucking price is nice. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
And he linked up with Makeway.
Okay.
But yeah, so if we can plug
You're gonna
people.
send me his Facebook after.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's Roberge, but I could be wrong, so I don't want to be 100% wrong. But like, yeah, he's one of the engineers at Makeway, the Hugo that works at Makeway. That's the one.
Okay.
I can't link him in the chat because the keyboard's all the way over there this time. We're doing new setup testings and shit because like we're in this new Keymoe is like internet situation allowed him. It made more sense for him to come here instead of being one of those guys where we find out live on the interview. It's going to be one of those interviews, and I highly appreciated that.
Yeah, my internet sucks. I hope.
But with that, so y'all are gonna come through with that. What other kinds of stuff is you up to though? Like, what are the bigger ambitions of the Keymoe?
Bigger ambitions. Basically, just after this album, I'm just gonna drop albums and features.
Do you have music videos?
Albums after albums. Yeah, I'm thinking about a couple of music videos, but I'm trying to find a camera guy, which won't cost me an arm and a leg.
Bro,
And I'm just trying to cut my ties.
Just get your fucking phone game on, my dude. A gimbal is like $120. You should probably cop one of those.
What is that?
That's the stabilizer motherfucker that makes the shots look like stable, right? Then all the really cool shit, as I understand it, is a lot of effects and stuff. So as long as you got like a half decent new phone, in theory, you could just do low end videos and in editing make them look nice.
Yeah, you got a point, but I don't know. I like professional where the dude could do angles, things like that.
Well, that's when you find a dude that wants to learn with you.
Yeah, basically.
And with the gimbal though, you can hold it and get a bunch of shit going on. You know what I'm saying? It's just stabilizing it.
But apart from me, everybody has an expensive ass phone with a good camera, so.
That's what I'm saying. And trust, man. At the end of the day, then you get filters on it and the editing, and you seam it all together, and it looks nice.
Yeah.
And it's not. Why I say that? Does not cost an arm and a leg.
Yeah. True. You got a point.
And visuals are helpful things.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I just gotta find out one person who's down to learn. And
that's fair.
If anybody's down, DM me.
So what else is up in the world of Keymoe?
Right now, nothing, to be honest. It's just the album right now. I'm trying to work on it. I'm trying to release it. I'm trying to really take every song and make it like A1,
And who inspires you?
Who inspires me? I wouldn't say somebody specific. I would say songs inspire me. Yeah. Like, I would say, there's a CB Mac song that inspires me a lot, Confidence. There is, what should I say? I would literally have to scroll down on my phone, and I would tell you one after the other.
I feel like it's fresh though. The only song I could think of is CB Max, Confidence.
Yeah, that's pretty jokes. That's the only one I thought of. But there is what is it? What is the name of that song? It's Scribble, Pistol on My Side, I think. I love that flow. Yeah. Songs like that. I mean,
do you like spend a lot? How do you find new music?
How do I find new music?
Yeah, what do you do to find new music?
Spotify or Facebook. Basically, I scroll down and like there's like ads or like there's videos of like some dude just spitting straight bars or something, and I'm like, oh shit, that's dope, and I go check him out. Or I go on Spotify. Let's say I listen to one artist, then I scroll down. It says fans also like. Then, yeah, that's mainly how I find music.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
No, that's dope. But yo, basically, yo, do any of y'all have any questions for Keymoe? And yo, when do you think your project is gonna be coming?
Right now, I'm at 10 songs. I'm just waiting for one artist to lay out his lyrics. I already have Wiz Candles' lyrics. I dropped mine, thought mines were kind of weak, so I'm gonna switch that up. Write a new 16. And I'm waiting on my beat maker to send me one last beat so I could throw Scribble and the other artists in.
Right.
Yeah. So I really don't know, bro. But it's almost done.
Who?
That's what I could say.
So who's your biggest musical influence? I feel like we just asked that, but who's your biggest musical influence?
Honestly, the one I would consider the best, Tupac.
Tupac.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I love Tupac. Yeah. His clearness, the way he expresses himself, the way he explains stories and stuff. Anybody could understand him, you know?
And that RB Beats guy is the one who's producing the albums.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fire. That's your guy now for life.
Yeah, for beats, basically. Yeah, he's very good with sharp beats.
It's dope.
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it, man. Honestly, though, like, that's cool. I look forward to seeing what you do next with it, how you evolve, man. All I can say about Keymoe is I watched this guy just stumble into the game and just relentlessly figure things out.
Yeah.
Are you dropping music on Bandcamp?
Bandcamp. I think I did. Yeah, I think I am on Bandcamp. I'm not really sure. Search me and check.
So the answer is Keymoe's gonna go make sure his music's on Bandcamp after.
Yeah, basically.
Because Bandcamp people can go and like give you money.
All right. Oh shit, dope. Really?
Yes, that's what Bandcamp is. It's basically a store where you can like sell the music.
Okay.
And you like put a price, and motherfuckers could be coming through and like going, here's $1, and instead of getting like stream money, you get like actual here's money.
Okay.
They take like 15% or some shit.
I'm on Reverb Nation. That I know I'm on.
Yo, Reverb Nation's for reals.
Yeah.
I used Reverb Nation back in the day. Back in the day, like it used to kind of be like, yo, I'm the 14th best rapper in Verdun. Because Reverb Nation, so I log into Reverb Nation, puts me in like 3rd place in Montreal or some shit. Because Reverb Nation just detected I logged in, right? Like this isn't like real shit now. They're trying to get me to now want to give them money for stuff because that's all they're there for. And it was just ridiculous, man. Reverb Nation cracks me the fuck up. On Fridays, Bandcamp does not take any cut for pretty much all of COVID. So basically, you get 100% of all of the proceeds from the purchase when they're doing that.
Huh. I'm gonna make sure you drop that album on Bandcamp. That's for sure.
You should put everything on Bandcamp.
Yeah, literally everything.
That's fair.
But I have basically my mixtape. I made a bunch of songs that weren't like my instrumentals. That's why they're not on Spotify.
Just put them on Bandcamp.
Put them on Bandcamp, huh?
On Bandcamp, yeah.
Okay, no, I'm gonna do that.
And yeah, don't worry. There's one of the tracks has a Led Zeppelin sample on my shit on Bandcamp.
Oh yeah, okay. And no copyrights, whatever the thing. No, okay, perfect.
No.
Huh.
I mean, it could change. I don't know if Bandcamp's ever gonna like really enforce that shit, but to date, they really haven't. They're kind of like the indie market haven that flies under the radar. The downside to Bandcamp is that there's not as many people like Ismail that are enthusiastic about Bandcamp as most of us would like. But like by not being there is silly because there are people who are as enthusiastic as Ismail out there, which we should care about, even if there's not as many, because his enthusiasm is very rewarding for people. That means he might buy your shit if it's on Bandcamp.
Huh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start throwing stuff on Bandcamp. You're right.
But yeah, I'm not really sure what else to ask you, my guy. Do you have any last stuff that you want to say to the world out there?
thanks for streaming my music. Thanks for the support. I love it. And that's it.
I appreciate you, fucking Keymoe.
That's all I gotta say, man.
Apparently Radiohead's catalog's on Bandcamp. That's fire. But yo, appreciate everybody out here for watching it. Honestly, it's great to have y'all here on a Saturday at this time of day, showing me this might be a better time in the future than the last Saturday time. It's definitely a different vibe when people be in the room in real life. It's taking and getting used to, but it's cool. In the future, who knows? Maybe we get like a real studio and we are all set up in person, unless it's one of them people that don't live in the city type thing. So, you know, change is becoming and all that. But shout out all of you for watching. Yo, I guess it's fair to say I'm in New York City November 1st to 6th, so you're going to see a mad fucking reduction in streaming over that week because I'm not in the country. And that's just kind of what it is. But then we back on November 8th, and we going to be back with our shit. So, you know, it is what it is in between then and now. So I appreciate everybody out there for real. Shout out Zalmanel for the great thing. I can guide the raid, but I definitely have to stand up to do that. For real this time. But I appreciate y'all for being here again. Honestly, thank you, Keymoe.
Thank you for having me, man.
And yo, live long. Oh yeah, all you watching in the future, thank you. Links down below. Subscribe, comment, blah bleep blue bleep. Live long and prosper, everybody.